Hey and welcome back. Today we've got an old friend of the channel, Mr. Level Earth Observer. He thinks he's going to debunk the globe Earth, and this time he's not going to use a crane. Before Level shows us once again that he doesn't understand, I'd like to say massive thanks to my wonderful patrons. With massive thanks to all my patrons, including new patrons Larry XK, Yuha Escalinen, Purple Rhymes with Orange, Tim Nicholas, Royce C, Key Weasel and Lucas Hoy, and my latest patrons David Fisher and Jeff Plessier. Thank you all so very much. So Adam, having departed the world of crane science, I'm looking forward to seeing what derp you serve up today.
Okay, just a quick one today.
That's just what I said to Mrs. Sensible, but she was having none of it.
Today we're going to destroy the Bendy water argument for the globe, and in doing so, we're going to destroy the globe.
Haven't we heard that somewhere before?
How we're going to do that, we're going to play Google Earth off against Google Maps.
Now that is cunning.
I've got a plan so cunning you could put a tail on it and call it a weasel.
And we find one matches demonstrable reality, the other favours pantomime theory.
Or the other alternative is, you don't know what you're bloody talking about.
First up, what is the flattest place in America? Now I, for some reason, had it in my head it was Kansas. Don't know why. Probably nonsense I'd seen on the TV. But it turns out it's Florida.
Wow. I'm going to have to be careful, Adam. For the first time ever, I've actually learnt something from you. I don't feel well.
Florida takes the prize for the flattest state in the nation because the highest point in the state is only 345 feet above sea level. Wow. So Florida is almost like Holland then, it would seem. Very flat.
And just like Holland, it's full of alligators in clogs.
I'm over on Google Maps. I've tagged in a journey from Florida to Vancouver, cutting across America, coming through the Rockies. And we see that displayed.
You can't go on a driving holiday, Adam. It's lockdown, remember?
On the statistics, we can see on the right hand side, the start of the journey, Florida. And we can see how flat it is, confirming what the article I just read to be true. Florida does look extremely flat.
As does your intelligence quotient, as we will shortly see.
What we also notice is the journey, the topography goes and changes as we go along the journey, going from right, Florida, moving to left, Vancouver, and as just before you get to the end of the journey in Vancouver, you can see the Rocky Mountains.
Yep, no problem there. It's a graph showing your height above sea level at each point.
I've highlighted this before, but what stands out a great deal
is the level of facepalm protection you should all prepare, ready for what's coming up shortly.
Regarding these statistics is how they are always presented on a level, flat plane, okay?
It's a graph, Adam. Of course the x-axis is going to be a horizontal line.
I mean, Florida, far right side, is level, flat, and of course it's parallel to the ground.
So what you're saying, Mr. Nibbler of Crayons, is that you'd expect the data to be displayed something like this because of the alleged curve of the Earth.
Nurse! Now the globe believers will say this is level in relation to the centre of the ball.
Yes, how can you not grasp this, Adam? If the Earth was a perfect sphere with no lumps, bumps and dips, and it was covered in water, everywhere would be sea level. Everywhere the surface would be the exact same distance or height above the centre of the planet. If you then stuck a lumpy landmass on your perfect sphere and were standing on that, you would be further from the centre of the Earth. You'd have a greater elevation. It would no longer be level.
If that was the case, it wouldn't be presented on a straight line.
Look, you consumer of fairy dust. The graph is showing the elevation above sea level on one side of Canada across to the elevation above sea level in Florida. At each end, it's zero. It's elevation above zero across the whole point. So the baseline is zero everywhere. You bloody idiot. Can't you see, if you use the distorted graph below, then looking at any point, you can no longer work out how high it is above sea level?
And I'm about to prove that to you today. We're about to get Google Earth to annihilate itself.
You really should not be allowed near dangerous machinery like cranes or door handles.
And we thank you, Google Earth.
Praise be Google Earth, and may blessings be upon you.
Okay, what we've done, we're on Google Earth. We've marked the 2 points of reference. On the right, Florida. On the left, Vancouver. I've drawn a line straight across using their tool.
Amazing. A total tool using a tool.
Now, we'll zoom out. I'm going to show you the curve. Give you some idea. And now we're going to have a side-by-side comparison.
Now I hope you all listened to me and took heed and have prepared facepalm protection.
Showing the elevation stats from Google Maps, which match demonstrable reality, comparing it to the supposed curve of the same journey on Google Earth.
Come on, you at the back. I've warned you.
And guess what? We've got a big problem.
So have I. Someone stole my facepalm protection.
One matches reality, the other matches pantomime. Let's have a look.
Red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert.
So, when we do a side-by-side comparison showing the elevation of the journey between Florida and Vancouver at the bottom, presented on a totally flat plane, and the elevation of the journey on the top, presented on the pantomime globe theory.
It's sad, isn't it? But this is what it
Flat Earth.
does to people.
On the top, it shows you the curve between the 2 points of reference on the globe theory. On the bottom, we see the elevation between the 2 points of reference. The bottom, which is Google Maps, represents reality, proving that sea is level.
And Level Earth Observers channel proves that care in a community doesn't work.
That's a fundamental fact.
You wouldn't know a fundamental fact if it walked up to you and said,
I'm a fundamental fact.
and smacked you in the gob.
And we've seen it here. Google Maps have proved that, and this can be demonstrated and is backed by demonstrable reality.
Adam, honestly, can you really not see what your error is here? Do you really fail to grasp this? Or are you just lying to people? Because it's one or the other.
And of course, Google Maps have just destroyed Google Earth, the globe, and all the pantomime nonsense that goes with it.
Well, if Google are some sort of NASA supporters, do you not think that they'd have got their story straight if this is proof against it?
It's quite clearly, if the globe was real, we'd see the curve that is represented on the globe here on the elevation stats. We don't.
Try and think of it this way, Adam. Each point on those elevation stats is how far above the surface of a perfect sphere that point is. Does that help?
You can't have it level in relation to the centre of the ball, because I've just shown you how much curve there would be in your theoretical, non-existent, curved, level world.
Nurse!
Doesn't exist, it's not demonstrably true, and I've just shown you that here, where Google has annihilated itself and the globe.
Keep trying, crane boy, because you haven't succeeded today.
My claims regarding the shape of the Earth are simply
A steaming pile of horse.
demonstrable reality. So there's no such thing as bendy water, and there's no such thing as spheres flying through a vacuum.
Really, Adam?
Tell that to Mercury, Venus, the Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, the moons, the Sun. Need I go on?
It was a good story for a while. It was quite funny, but it's got very, very old now.
Yes, and I'm concerned there's not many of you idiots that are still pushing this ridiculous theory, which is a shame because it's such fun pointing out the stupidity.
And it represents deceit, which I'm not a fan of.
Really, Adam? So don't you think it's deceitful to still be claiming this rubbish when the entire scientific community, you know, people who know what they're talking about, are saying different to what you're claiming?
So it's time to say goodbye to the globe and all the nasty things that the globe represents.
Oh dear. nasty things like evidence, reality, matching all scientific theory.
Thank you, Google, for putting the boot in and destroying, ironically, one of the things you actually promote. So we thank you.
Are you Daniel Pratt's brother? Look, Adam, if you are so sure of all that you're claiming, then I challenge you to a one-on-one debate. Everybody watching, please let Level Earth Observer know that he is being directly challenged. I hope you're not yellow, Adam. I hope you're not going to pussy out, Adam. Until next time, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.